All right, let's talk about the rattlesnake in the room, which started happening yesterday, and you were like, I got to stay away from this. I feel very uncomfortable. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I was like, maybe. I personally like this camera angle right now, Will. I wouldn't adjust it at all if I was you. I like creeping out the frame.
Keep moving, man.
So you got the Dalai Lama situation.
Uh-huh.
And it just kind of made a lot of people feel weird. You know why I like this beat? Even leave that for me. You got like few good beats today.
Yeah.
Finally, you picked the right ones from the folder and stop picking the wrong ones from the folder.
It's actually quite fitting.
Because you got folders. Dalai Lama. Suck my tongue. Tuck my song.
You gotta say that first.
It's right there, man. It's in the headline.
Well, this was happening yesterday.
I don't think that, like, ever as an instruction, in public, a public instruction of sucking the tongue is not, that's not.
It's not cool.
Nobody's looking. People aren't looking for that. What I started to realize, though, is it's like everything else 2023. There's a line. And somehow, even a story like this ends up with people on either side. Somehow, even a story like this, you're like, nah, probably is sucking the tongue, probably no good with the kid. Probably no good.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty straightforward.
Pretty no good.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, oh no, there's another side. There's another China conspiracy. Why is this viral right now? Type of thing going on.
Yeah.
And of course, Vice went out of their way to figure that one out. People are saying it's misinterpreted. Guys, I mean, I know you're all comfy and cozy in your own little spot in the world, but there's only so many ways to interpret this. You got you might want to say it from the cultural perspective of whoever's involved in like ancient times of sticking the tongue out. But no, it's 2023. We're here right now. That was a kid. That's a real kid. Now, a part of the controversy, the real kid was over there, standing there. And did the kid approaching that scenario expect to be sucking the tongue? I think we can all safely say no. And then the circumstances of the environment sort of persuaded him into the doing of the thing and the power dynamics and so forth. And you got a freaking problem. You got a problem. Mm-hmm. We can all admit that.
Now, you want to backtrack and talk about what happened?
Who doesn't?
Because it happened yesterday.
Who doesn't know about this, man? Okay. How are you not going to know about this right now?
All right. You want to dive right into it?
Well, listen. The boy did ask for a hug. So he goes up can I do a hug? Come to meet you or whatever.
That's the only normal thing that happened.
Well, these are the standards we have. It's like, okay, that's acceptable. And then all of a sudden you go into this realm and you're like, wait a minute. So this video, which is actually a little older than you might think, I believe it was posted at the beginning of March, the event, a month ago. But then it's hot right now. Don't get me on the conspiracy topic yet, Will. And the conspiracy topic isn't about whether it happened or didn't happen. The conspiracy aspect of the topic is why is it flying right now? And, okay, all right. And he tried to pull away at that moment. Give me that part of the clip again. He was not feeling it right then. He goes, the hand was there. Go back. The hand was pulling. The discomfort. Let me get out of here. I'm not feeling it. And then you, as the adult in the situation, like, come on. And again, I'm just going... It's all types of public events. There's all types of people around. I mean, you got the guy in the back holding the camera. The crowd, if you hear the audio from the crowd, they're cheering. Mm-hmm. Woo! And you're just...
A little bit of laughing.
And you're just, again, it's like...
It's like a joyous occasion.
But you gotta,
this.
I know that you want to read this a number of different ways. I know this guy has a tremendous following. I know he wrote all these books. I know it's a whole way of life. And I know it's Tibet. And I know it's Buddhism. And I know, like, it's a lot wrapped up in it. Mm-hmm. But in that moment, that boy did not know what he was in for. And it wasn't clear to him. And you have a room full of adults kind of engaging in his... in persuading him to do something he is uncomfortable with, and that he's lacking understanding right now at the moment. And okay, that's when the tongue part comes in. I don't even think you need to show. Oh, okay, well, you can leave it right there in that frame. Yes, and now some people come in here and say this is also a human. This human can make mistakes. Yeah, but this is a human who's the kid still doesn't know exactly what the hell this means, and whether it's like what the playful nature of it is, and yeah. It goes on, doesn't it? It goes on and on. No, I am not. People in the comments there saying I'm defending. Not at all. I mean, if that's my kid in that circumstance, and he's like, hey, can I come up and hug you? Or if they're meeting somebody, and dude, I'm watching like a hawk. I'm like, well, okay, make sure everything's...
Yeah.
And that's the part of it, too, is like nobody stood up and was like, oh, okay, enough.
Not the parents.
Nobody did, because it's those dynamics. It's like, no, everybody came to see this person. This person is on the pedestal. This person is on the... And that's why the responsibility ultimately lies on an individual who has the influence in that situation. It lies on him himself or the people that are around him that might notice, it's about to go awry. We got to... sort this out. Now, some people have made the argument, they say, okay, if this is what it's like in public, what's going on in private? What's going on behind the scenes with the cameras turned off without the microphone sitting right there? Mm-hmm. And what is normal in this environment? What is normal? Because that wasn't normal to that kid, because the kid is uncomfortable. I'm going to say it. The kid is obviously uncomfortable in that situation. And has gotten a lot more than he bargained for. Mm-hmm. He's like, I go up, I'll do a hug and walk on back over here. And he got way more than he bargained for. And he's the vulnerable one in the situation. Mm-hmm. Whatever, he's 10 years old, whatever it is. And that's when you start to get a little bit upset about it, because you're like, come on, you're around people all the time over here. You can sense when the discomfort is there. Mm-hmm. And then the responsibility kicks in, and somebody says, careful, Lou, or it's bye-bye to your YouTube channel. Listen, I didn't. This is a sensitive topic. Mm-hmm. It's a sensitive topic because this guy's got a tremendous following, and it gets people emotional about a thing. People are invested over here, and sometimes you don't even know where and how your argument's coming from. But anyway, let me just paint a picture here. So obviously the initial reaction, somebody here says, the kid is at the center of a stage with a crowd watching. Again, perspective is a factor. What kid would be comfortable? No, I'm talking about strictly the part of holding the chin, bringing it into his mouth, and the resistance. You can see the kind of pulling back going on. Mm-hmm. And then he immediately tugs it back at the very end. You're right. What kid? You're right, actually. What kid would be comfortable? None. Because this is a person they don't know, and I don't know, should they be allowed to approach in the first place? Anyway, there's only so much we can gather from the clip itself. I think it's going to make most people uncomfortable, particularly. Like, I think it's going to make almost everybody. I mean, in and of itself, the clip. But then I find this Vice article that is suggesting the reason this thing is proliferating right now is through some sort of, some sort of effort from the Chinese Communist Party propagandist. I mean, this is, can you imagine? This is, maybe they don't mind it because they had their beefs in the past.
Uh-huh. Well, it's still going on.
And it is,
apparently.
the beef is still going on. And it is curious that it happens a month ago and then it's wildfire right now, top trending yesterday. Mm-hmm. Viral video showing the Dalai Lama asking a boy to suck his tongue has stunned the global Tibetan community. Many believe the video is being widely misinterpreted and are concerned Chinese Communist Party propagandists are misusing it to discredit the exiled leader and legitimize the Chinese occupation of Tibet. There is a suggestion here that this is turned political, which I wouldn't doubt. Anytime there's it's like blood in the water. It's like sharks hovering. As soon as there's an opportunity, they sniff out an opportunity, like, okay, fine, it's time to get our political jabs in and it's time to pile on. And I don't know why it didn't pick up as much steam a month ago either. On Monday, the Dalai Lama's office issued an apology for the video of a meet and greet in February in the northern Indian city of Dharamshala, where Tibet's highest spiritual leader has been running an independent government in exile since 1959. In a video, which we've already talked about, he asks a kiss on his lips specifically, and then the tongue comes into it. And then here's the part why it's unclear why the video has gone viral right now. It started getting reshared last week after it didn't really pop off to the same extent when it happened. And you've got a lot of different social media accounts, which Vice is saying are big contributors to the virality of what's going on. And then specifically citing the fact that Dalai Lama has been a CCP target. These kind of seem like like not necessarily, I mean, they can be connected in the sense that the thing happens and then it's piled on. Like, obviously you can't fabricate the entire event, but you could amplify it. And you could use it. You could use the event to further your political agenda in a particular region. Mm-hmm. It's possible. But it doesn't mean that you generated the event itself. It doesn't mean you were in an earpiece. It didn't mean you brainwashed the individual into acting a certain way so you could discredit them. Uh-huh. You understand? That's like another layer or level to it. So here's one of the defenses. I still remember when the great Christian spiritual leader Desmond Tutu visited the Dalai Lama in India, and they hugged and kissed like two pure kids, she said. It was a beautiful display of love. But some people with dirty minds interpreted it as something else back then too. But this is an adult. That's why we have certain laws and things around consenting adults. Adults can, pretty much do what they want without hurting one another. I think
the main issue here is the underage. It's a child.
That's a main issue. But, even in these unusual power dynamics, like these two guys meeting are prominent figures. It's also those dynamics where you have somebody meeting of a particular stature that's making a demand on a person of another stature or another at another point in life where there's this just tremendous imbalance and influence or power or whatever you want to call it. Others have suggested English is his second language. Sometimes His Holiness uses words to make some people uncomfortable. It doesn't necessarily mean he intends to be negative. Another Tibetan living in India who spoke to Vice World News on condition of anonymity for fear of reprisals from the canceling of the Dalai Lama online said that Tibetans often greet each other with their tongues out. Okay, but that's a leap.
It's like a culture thing.
Well, but that's a leap, though. If I stick my tongue out and go, hey, how's it going? Or if I grab a child and grab his chin and force it upon him, that's not the same thing at all. Mm-hmm. Then others come in and they say, oh, I see many pro-Chinese people tweeting this video. I feel a coordinated effort to discredit. And it's like, whoa.
It always has to go through politics.
But I'm just saying, you make it easy, don't you? You do this activity on camera, you're going to make it easy to discredit you. Because what, are you really not aware? Are you really And if you have that amount of power and influence, you need somebody nearby that's going to let you know if it's you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that then implies to me that there's people around that kind of let him behave in whichever fashion he sees fit. Like he's got that influence. He's got that stature. Mm-hmm. Obviously. You know, the other part of it too is it's like you have like a kind of polar approach to situations in media now. You have a polar approach where it's like bad thing means bad person. Like, and I don't mean that. What I mean to say is like this, that, or a bad person can't do a good thing, or a bad thing can't come from somebody who's done something good in the past. You know what I'm saying here? It's like, no, everybody's capable of all of it. Everybody's capable of all of it, given a particular circumstance, or given a particular lack of awareness, or lack of everybody's fallible, and everybody can be evil too. And even people who have done good things can do evil things. You see what I'm saying here? Mm-hmm. This is the essence of somebody says moving on. I don't know what else there's to say about it. But there is a political issue between China and Tibet, which has been long-standing. Dalai Lama has been living in exile, and now there's going to be an effort to utilize this moment, this absurd moment, as a weapon in this ongoing dispute and influence and so on. And so there's a little bit more to it in this sense, because he is sort of elevated as not just a religious figure, but also a political figure, given the history. But the fact of the matter is, this has made everybody uncomfortable, and regardless of which point of view you're looking at it from, I think the part that matters here more than anything is that the experience that the kid went through does not look to me to be right.
And his life is probably changed forever due to this one incident. His parents' lives, family.
It's become a huge story now. Yeah. There'll be some effect of it for sure, because
there's fallout.
It's big here. It's probably even bigger in the region where it occurred. Mm-hmm. It's probably massive.
All right.
Someone says, Lou is very brave to carry on this topic for this long. I don't think it was that long. I could probably talk about it longer, but it's just, it's weird. It's so polar on the internet. It's like we want everything to fit into a bucket, and it's sometimes it's percentages. A certain percentage goes in this bucket. A certain percentage goes in that bucket. Can a person that was previously helpful in one way do something horrible in another way? Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.